What's up, guys? Codey Eatherton here, owner of Rapid Response Roofing.
And I'm Justin. I'm the COO of Rapid Response Roofing.
We want to talk about this, right? This is the elephant in the room.
Things that you should look for to know that this isn't a scam, to know that you're dealing with a tried and true company, to know that you're dealing with a real set of folks who are going to take care of you and give you a great product. Hey guys, this is the Rapid Response Roofing Podcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Codey, owner of Rapid Response Roofing.
Today, we want to talk about vetting your roofing company. We did a quick episode not too long ago about door knocking as our primary function of generating marketing and leads. Now, there's a lot of door knockers out there, and I think in this episode we wanted to talk about how you can vet a company that may have knocked on your door. What are some things that you should look for to know that this isn't a scam, to know that you're dealing with a tried and true company, to know that you're dealing with a real set of folks who are going to take care of you and give you a great product?
Yeah. So my advice for vetting a company, especially when they're right there at your door. So we're talking right there in the current moment. They're there in front of you. So the first thing that you're going to want to pay attention to is, what kind of vehicle are they pulling up in? Are they pulling up in a wrapped professional vehicle, right? So here at Rapid Response Roofing, we take professionalism very serious, right? So we require our guys to be, of certain image, represent themselves in a certain way, conduct themselves in a certain manner, those types of things. So the first thing you should do when, someone pulls up at your door, knocks on your door, right? You're going to look at their vehicle. If they're in a vehicle that's not wrapped, right? If it's completely unmarked, it's an automatic red flag in itself right there. That tells you that rep or the company that they represent they're probably not that established if they're out there in personal vehicles running sales, right? If they have a magnet on their truck, I don't take those guys very seriously. If you got a magnet on your truck, man, anybody can order a magnet, slap a magnet on their truck. It's kind of like making AI posters on Facebook.
Sure.
It doesn't authenticate yourself, right? It doesn't show that you invest real money into your business. So by pulling up in a wrapped vehicle, it's a rolling billboard. It represents the company. It says, hey, we invest in our company, right? Like we put equity back into our company, and we take ourselves very seriously. So that's the first thing. Also, too, we're in a digital age. We're pulling up. We're on Ring cameras every day. Like the last thing we want to do is end up in a Facebook group of people, asking who we are or thinking we're doing something shady. So that's why we always pull up in a wrapped vehicle. They know immediately who's there, right? Then our guys, we require our guys to always wear professional gear. They always are required to have a logo on their shirt. So logo on their shirt, look presentable, conduct themselves in a presentable way, in polite manners, right? So that's the first thing you should also look for aside from the vehicle. Do they have a professional, appearance on? Are they representing the company logo? Sometimes it's as silly as Nike shirts, right? Like that just shows that we have a higher standard, that we really invest in our team. So that's one of the things you can kind of do right there at the door. Also, in the way that they conduct themselves and how they speak to you and whatnot. So, that's the way that you can kind of automatically vet them, right? So after that, if you do agree for them to get onto your roof, the next thing you should immediately do, even if you don't, whether you do, you should begin to look at them digitally, right? You should look at their Google, look at their Google business page, look at their reviews, look at their Facebook, all of those things while they're up there on your roof. So that way, when they get down, you feel comfortable with what your next steps may be. So, Justin, why don't you tell them in a little more detail of kind of the professional standards that we have for our team and why Rapid Response stands out at the door when we're knocking on the door?
Sure. So, for our guys, for one, all of our reps go through some pretty rigorous training, and then we promote a lot of professional development throughout their tenure with us. So when they stay with us, we do weekly training. We go over certain aspects that they need to know about construction, about insurance companies. But at the end of the day, we try to instill professionalism. I like the term steadfast professionalism. Kind of reminds me of the Marine Corps a little bit, but it goes a long way. When you're above reproach, it's really hard for someone to question your validity. And then from the point of presenting bona fides, you hit the nail on the head with the wrapped vehicle. Now, in my early days, I was the guy with the magnet on my truck. So, but I worked for a different company back then. So, a wrap truck goes a long way. Wraps are expensive. It denotes a company that has spent money on itself and is interested in its propulsion. Logos on the shirt, of course. And then the other thing is literature. What kind of things have they come with? We use pocket folders with our logos all over it. All of our paperwork has our logo on it somewhere. And then, like you mentioned, there's the digital bona fides. The Google My Business page in the year 2026 is something that you cannot operate without. It's absolutely necessary. You can tell so much about a company by how they promote and use their Google My Business page. Looking at reviews, we have over 260 reviews. We've got a 4.8 on Google. It's really hard to obtain.
100% 5-star on Facebook with roughly 120
Yeah,
reviews.
we have a huge footprint on Facebook. So Google My Business is probably the most important because you can't even get a Google My Business without verifying that you have infrastructure around you,
Yeah.
without verifying that you actually own your company, you're licensed, you're insured, and you're doing the things that you need to do. Now, you can have a Google business page. When Google verifies you and you get your check mark and you're a verified business through Google, you have to go through these extra steps. The other thing is Facebook. Facebook is so great for building community, but it's also a really great way for small companies to demonstrate what it is that they do. We were in some competitive bids with two other roofing companies. I won't name their names, but we won that bid, and one of the reasons, it was a very large roofing project, and one of the reasons that we did win that bid was because the two other companies that we were competing against either did not have a Google My Business page, they had a Facebook with one or two photos on it, and they have not engaged with it in over 3 to 6 years. I think one company was 3 years, the other company was 6 years. If you a company that takes itself very seriously in the year 2026 has all of this digital footprint out there where we're making content, you're showing people the proof in the pudding, or like you like to say, the proof's in the roof.
Exactly.
We show people the before and afters of the projects that we've done, the completed projects, and that's something that gets updated on a regular basis. Daily, we're posting on that.
Yep.
And it's not just completed projects, it's also how we operate on the inside. It's also shout outs, happy birthdays, thank yous to customers, thank yous from customers, things like that. But that's a really great way to verify a company. Now, there's always the old standard way where you can go to Michigan's LoRa page and look up the business. There's an entity lookup
Better Business Bureau.
in the Better Business Bureau. That's another one. The Better Business Bureau is a good way to verify a business. A lot of businesses are on there, but to get to A+ rating, you have to be verified through the Better Business Bureau. So that's another. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Those little things right there can really help you feel a lot better about the people that you're dealing with when they come and knock on your door. And these are all tools that help companies manage their reputation and to help customers decide who's the best fit for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree.
Oh, hey, thanks guys for joining us for the Rapid Response Roofing podcast. This is Cody. I'm Justin. We're signing off. If you have any questions about how to verify a business, reach out to us on Facebook, send us an email, or call us up at 269-753-1121.